What's up guys, we got another driving test leaving from Birmingham Garretts Green. I've got the time stamped on this video. A lot of you ask me what is a good time for a test, so each time I upload a driving test I'll have the time with it as well. That way you can see the videos for yourself of what the traffic is like at those times. You can't see me, but I'm hiding around the corner peeking through the blinds. I thought the test started with good all-round observations. Some people say you don't need to check to the left, however there is a bike training yard there, it can't hurt to check it. As you can see, there's not many other test people leaving at this time. Sometimes there can be anywhere between 2, 3, up to 8, 9, 10 people leaving at the same time, which can sometimes cause a few problems. There was a good controlled roll for this T-junction where they were observing to the left and to the right. As we all know, cars can travel quite fast down here. They've noticed the oncoming car, and so they start to pull over to the left. Because there is reduced space, there is reduced speed. So remember, some gaps may be safe to go through, but if space is reduced, think about what speed you would want for that gap. Imagine the gap they just had. Now pretend you're doing it at 30 miles per hour. It doesn't seem that safe anymore, does it? So already at this test time, there's a lot of weaving in and out because of other road users. They had really good control of that junction. Remember, it is a hill, so have good clutch control and make sure you practice it. They've started off their test nicely, getting out the main test centre road without any minors. That's a really good way to start. They've been asked to take the next road on the right. Notice how they started to enter the hatch markings a little bit earlier. Because they're broken white lines, not solid white lines, they are allowed to do that. And we're now in the infamous 20 mile per hour zone where a lot of people tend to break the speed limit. If you have a quick look at the time as well, there may be a lot of school kids or parents around at the moment, even this late on. This is their first pulling up on the left. Notice how there's a car in front of them. This would be classed as an angled start. You'll get a few different type of move-offs in your test. You've got angled start, which is what he's doing now, the regular start, and also the hill start. The regular start is, it could be anywhere on the left-hand side, no cars in front of you. Notice this is a very built up area. Down this little stretch of road, it's quite common to get a parallel park. He doesn't seem to get one on this occasion, but he does get an angled start. If you do get pulled over like this, they may say to you, ignore driveways on this occasion. If they say that, it is absolutely fine to park in front of the driveway. When moving off, they leave a really good amount of space between themselves and the white car. And I hope we all know that the entrance to the right is a no entry, is the one just after where the blue arrow is pointing to. They waited for a perfect opportunity and then moved out. Depending on what time your test is, you can sometimes be stuck there for quite a while. Remember, be patient, you haven't got anywhere desperate to be. They've already done a good few pullovers now. Some examiners like to get them out of the way with at the beginning of the test, as sometimes further along there might not be as many opportunities to pull over. Currently at the moment he hasn't picked up any faults. Roughly about 9 minutes into the test, really good going. This mini roundabout could be a tricky one. Remember, it's priority to the right, just the same as every other roundabout. If there's two cars signalling left, you can use them as a blocker and move out. If there's just one signalling left and another car behind it, be cautious about using that as a cars head on head. The person who enters the roundabout first gains priority over the other. He used the black car as a blocker and then emerged out, and didn't cause an issue to any road users. And every driver's worst nightmare, temporary traffic lights. Some people tell me they won't get a certain road because they know there's roadworks going on. No, they'll still take you there. In real life, you are going to face roadworks, and the examiner's testing you to see how you deal in situations that you're going to find when you pass. Notice how they're four-way control, so it means they're probably going to be waiting there for quite a while. This is a really busy crossroads that they're turning right at. I highly recommend that you practice this a good few times as quite a few test routes do go right. And it can be a tough one as it's quite large, some people get intimidated by it. Down this stretch of road, your eyes will have to be all over the place. Notice how you've got cars parked up on the left. This means that you get moved over slightly to the right. You don't want to cause an obstruction from the oncoming cars, and you need to make sure that you're looking to the left to see how much space you got between you and the parked vehicle. He definitely did this down this stretch, as he picked up no minors. I know that he did. This would be a really good time to check your centre mirror, as they're drastically reducing their speed to stop for the crossing. Another good thing to do is have a quick check of your left and right mirrors, just seeing if there's any passing motorbikes or cyclists on your side. Always be aware of what's around you. So this is where it gets slightly interesting and difficult. The first roundabout they're turning right, which is the third exit. If you know these roads, you'll know that there's a roundabout nearly straight after that. Normally you go straight ahead of that second roundabout. So at this point you would be given the directions at the first roundabout right, second roundabout straight ahead. The reason that is because they're quite close together, or you'll just be following the sat nav. So what would be good to do now is check your centre mirror, left mirror, and then start moving across to the left lane, ensuring that it's safe to do so and there's no cars on that side. At the next roundabout, they're going straight ahead. If you look at the sign to the left, you'll see straight ahead is the second exit. They have a fantastic approach lane, which is the left. They have good positioning as they enter the roundabout and they stick to the left. Now look at the car in the rear view mirror for me. That car's positioned correctly to turn into the trading estate. My learner miscounted the exits and carries going on the wrong way round the roundabout, but in doing so it slowed down the red car. Because the red car had to take action because of them, it does go down as their only fault, and a serious fault at that. Now, he wasn't meant to be in this car park, and this is a very tight, busy car park, especially at this time. The examiner thought they'd make the most of it and asked him to do a forward bay park. He pulls the entire thing off like a true professional. I apologise about the blurring. 30,000 people ascended on this car park at once, as it was quite a busy time. So this next one annoyed me. Notice that silver vehicle sticking out right by the turning of the junction. My learner got a little bit close to this, so they did get asked to stop, and they picked up another serious fault for it. The reason it annoys me is they're sticking out right next to a junction with a tow bar attached to their car. You'd think if you have learner plates on, you're teaching someone to drive, you would be a little bit more thoughtful about where you're parking. Now, it is 100% normal that if you've got one serious fault and you know it, you get the spiral effect downwards. You pick up fault after fault. I'll be honest, the one with the Mercedes, I don't think he would have picked up normally, but because of the first fault, I think he was overthinking it possibly. I don't know. The examiner's now directing them back on track. The exit you now see them take was the one they were meant to have been on before. Normally here you get asked to take the next road on the left. There are a few routes that go straight ahead as well. They did pick up a minor fault for use of gears. I think it was possibly down this road. If they were staying in second gear for the majority of it, it is a 30 mph road, the revs could have got a bit high. That's one fault where I can't see because I didn't sit in on this test, but more than likely it could have been down here. Here you need really good mirror checks. Centre left mirror to move in, centre right mirror to move out. At this point he's observed the pedestrian, but they're not crossing over, so he was good to continue at a reduced speed. At this roundabout he's been asked to go straight ahead. I've said it in some of my previous videos, it can be really quite busy here sometimes, mainly with people bringing shopping to their car. Up ahead is a bit of a tough one because of where the bus is parked. You can just about fit, but you would need to keep the car very slow, more than likely in first gear, and crawl through the gap. As you're crawling through, check your left mirror, check your right mirror, make sure you have enough space both sides. We all know this bridge and we all hate this bridge. There is no priority from either side. It's a case of picking your gap and committing to it. Once you've committed to the gap, the other side should then give you way. Think of it as first come, first serve. This is pretty much near the end of the test now. As you can see, he's still only got one minor fault. The roundabout is really busy, but he didn't pick up any points for hesitation here. Because it is quite a busy one, I do recommend you prepare the car, possibly wait at the biting point with your foot on the foot brake. Every car is slightly different, but this is what I teach my students do. So when the gap does appear, they can floor it and take it. So this comes to the end of the test. He only picked up 2 minor faults, one of which I couldn't see on the footage, and 2 serious faults. One of the serious faults wouldn't have happened, in my opinion, if he hadn't have entered that trading estate. So you can see by the amount of minors, it was an incredibly good effort and a really good drive. With a result like this, I would be saying to rebook your test as soon as possible. Now notice how when he drives into the spot, he is a bit crooked. That is fine, and he's not judged on that as he has already done his manoeuvre.